There's many types of cringe alpha male influencers these days, but the ones who teach you how to become a better father and husband while also being a massive hypocrite might be the worst. And this one mocks Christians too.
Christians, their whole life, won't do shit in public. Nothing. They will wait until they're in a nice, soft, warm place where everybody believes exactly what they believe. You're like, I appreciate it. You are worthless.
Meet Garrett White, owner of Wake Up Warrior, another level up your masculinity program. He'll teach you how to be more, do more, suck less, the male version of Boss Babes. He also runs a hair extension company for women with his wife that has been accused of scamming, so he's scamming women too. I mean, when the money's good, why not double up? On top of that, they're being sued for harassment.
The lawsuit was filed in Orange County, where Wake Up Warrior is headquartered. The women say they previously worked for the Whites as housekeepers, assistants, and nannies.
I face repeated instances of explicit comments, harassment, and inappropriate demands.
Nothing shows more alpha male power than a harassment lawsuit.
How many been in a place where somebody starts talking to you and you know they're full of shit?
Yes, Garrett, that's what we're talking about today. Let's dive in. Garrett White began his career as a simple PE teacher yelling at children and eventually graduated to yelling at adults for a lot more money. According to Garrett, he became a multi-millionaire from owning 3 national mortgage companies, a real estate empire, and public speaking. Then he says he lost it all during the 2008 housing collapse. While this could all be true, I couldn't find any evidence of it. Strange. What I did find was a purchase of a $20 million home for him and his wife in 2021, paid for with a $16 million loan. That's quite a hefty loan, so at least his current businesses must be thriving. Teaching weak dads how to be alpha males is all the rage these days, and Wake Up Warrior is no different.
A message that came from God hundreds of years ago that is calling to a man like you to stand up, to wake up, and to rise.
Unmatched experience that helps you 4x your power in 6 weeks or less so you can ultimately take your business, marriage, and life beyond the next level quickly. What does that even mean? It's like he didn't even give ChatGPT a prompt. He just told it to give him the most alpha pitch possible. For just $297, any guy can learn how to become a real man and activate your power. And for $10,000, guys can attend conferences and events. Sound familiar? The application for Warrior Week is hilarious. Are you a man? Would you consider yourself to be an aggressive man physically? Have you ever been punched in the face by another man? Have you ever punched a man in the face? Guys, it's 2024 and I know the UFC is popular, but can we stop pretending that violence is what makes a man masculine? The saddest part is how many fathers buy into this. Feels like my dad might be in a cult, Wake Up Warrior. My dad has been part of a Wake Up Warrior for a couple years now. He's always been conservative, really susceptible to entrepreneurs and their scams, and the guy who runs it seems to reflect a lot of his views, which I think is why he started paying for it. The advice really isn't advice and it hasn't made him better in any way. He said Garrett called him out, and from my perspective, it sounds like my dad was just belittled in front of all the other people on call. What got me is the way he talked about it. He was acting like this was some honor, and he talked about the leader of it like some deity. I got into Wake Up Warrior and left just before I got too deep. It got really weird. One of the things they asked us to do is record a video and send it in telling us to share a horrible thing we've done in our lives that we've told no one about. I'm dead serious. That was my wake up moment. And cults are often highly profitable. In early 2019, Garrett claimed $10 million per year in revenue. No doubt these gurus make bank, but they love to inflate their revenue numbers since no one checks. He claims they've had 11,000 challenge warriors at $297, which equals $3 million from 2012 up to 2024. He also claims they've had 3,000 warrior weakers at $10,000 each, which equals $30 million during the same time period. If these numbers are true, that's still an insane haul for an alpha male program, but well short of the $10 million per year he claimed. And his company was suspended for what appears to be not paying taxes.
Welcome to SoCal Life, my friend. You can live here too. You just gotta figure out how to play the tax game.
Well, that's one way to do it. These fake alphas love to use religion and community to make themselves look like good people, but often they just use that as a cover to do shady stuff behind the scenes.
That was when Jesus Christ came into my life.
Again, because he's been in.
But it wasn't ever in. I was just playing a game with a lot of people. I didn't really understand what the hell I was doing. You notice this thing when guys came to Warrior, a vast majority of the men would search out God.
Yeah, and this lawsuit sure sounds like a man who found God. Garrett White and his wife Danielle White were recently sued by 5 women for harassment, discrimination, wrongful termination, emotional distress, and whistleblower retaliation. Plaintiff Aniana Rivera held the positions of lead trainer and director of education. Alina Bowman held the positions of child educator and mentor for White's children. Brianna Schlesinger held the positions of nanny to White's children, personal assistant to Miss White, and house manager. Christy Kirkham held the position of newborn care specialist. And Lisa Chamberlain held the positions of nanny to White's children and house manager. So Garrett and his wife had a team of nannies and teachers for their kids and basically ignored the fact that they were employees. Since they were around during more personal times, Garrett and his wife felt it was fine sharing personal things. A little too personal. He would discuss the size of his P word, and I don't think I can read the rest of that without getting demonetized. White also required Rivera to discuss her S life and relationships with him as a mandatory term of her continued employment.
Men and women are dying to be honest. They just have no one to be honest with because they have no trust in the people around them.
Yeah, Garrett, I think you're a little too honest. White required Rivera to do a private warrior week with another trainer, Sam Falsify. Prior to this training, the two told Rivera she was too masculine, and during her warrior week, directed her to bring lingerie to the training, put it on, walk around, and look at herself in the mirror and make her more feminine. I get that guys nowadays want women to be more feminine, but A, making your employees doing it crosses a major line, and B, forcing women into femininity is not alpha, it's the opposite. Plaintiff Bowman was required to have weekly mentorship trainings with White. Some assignments required Bowman to reveal and discuss her childhood traumas. Others required her to manufacture rage, gratitude, and a host of other emotions. Employees should never be required to discuss personal issues with their employer. This is sickening. Everyone should have access to high-quality mental health care from a licensed professional. That's why I partner with today's sponsor, BetterHelp. They have over 6,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot. Thanks to today's sponsor, BetterHelp, we all can have access to a therapist who can provide us with helpful, unbiased advice if our mental health is suffering. I went to therapy a couple years ago when I really needed it and would recommend others doing the same. An estimated more than 1 in 5 US adults experienced mental health challenges in 2021, which totals nearly 60 million people. In response to this, BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to be a support system while you're in need. If you find yourself struggling with mental health, it's okay to admit it to yourself and seek out solutions. And hiring a pro is usually the best way to solve problems. The therapist they pick for you will have tons of experience dealing with whatever you're going through. Every single one of their therapists is licensed, has a master's or doctorate degree, and has spent over 3 years and 1,000 hours working with people just like you. And if you need to switch therapists for whatever reason, BetterHelp makes it easy to switch with no cost or worry. If you think therapy is for you, you can join the over 4 million people who have used BetterHelp. Use my link betterhelp.com/Spencer Cornelia or choose Spencer Cornelia during sign up for a special discount off your first month of therapy. White would intimidate Bowman by boasting about firing disloyal people. Bowman was also exposed to inappropriate comments and insults throughout her employment, where he called his wife and daughter Bailey Uckers and lazy C words. He also told her to give her husband a BJ. Bowman was terminated despite glowing reviews. The reason for the termination, according to White, was that God had told him to lay her off. Plaintiff Brianna Schlesinger experienced harassment, fraudulent manipulation of her time cards, extensive labor code violations, as well as a hostile work environment. The company regularly altered her time cards in order to avoid paying her for the time worked. At the end of a family trip, White told her when she saw her boyfriend it was time to get off the pull-out couch and get some pull-out time. Plaintiff Christy Kirkham got pregnant and Garrett was having none of that. White told her, "We were going to let you go, but figured we will let you stay and work even though you are pregnant." Kirkham worked through April 1, 2023 when she was hospitalized, only 4 days postpartum. White called Kirkham and informed her she was being terminated. Kirkham told White it was illegal to fire someone on maternity leave. In response, he told her to hang on to the layoff letter. Plaintiff Lisa Chamberlain took care of the White's children. At one point, White demanded that Chamberlain hit his 2-year-old daughter. When Chamberlain refused, White told her to find another job. So this alpha male father claiming to teach other fathers how to be alphas not only hits his 2-year-old child, but demands that his nanny does it too? Disgusting. Chamberlain was taking care of one of White's children who had COVID and ultimately became ill. When she was set to return to work, White told her that he woke up that morning and God told him it was time to set her free. No matter what you think about religion, I think we can all agree that using it to justify being an a-hole is despicable, and it appears the women all have a solid case here. The plaintiffs are seeking $200,000 in general damages and additional damages to be determined by jury. I need a shower after reading that lawsuit. It's so gross. Garrett has the decorum of a horny 16-year-old. I understand the male desire for locker room talk and letting people choose how they speak in their personal lives, but these were business relationships, and Garrett and his wife appear to have completely ignored that fact because the work took place inside of their home. I guess we shouldn't be too surprised a couple of scammers would have no boundaries. While Wake Up Warrior might just be a cringe fest bordering on a cult, the couple's salon academy called NBR Education has been accused of being a scam. Before even discussing their academy, a quick Google search shows that the average salon pulls in only $245,000 annually, with a potential profit margin of, checks notes, 8.2%. So that's $20,000 profit. This seems almost impossibly low, but even if we tripled it, anyone promising an easy 6 figures is selling a lie. If that's not bad enough, Garrett and Danielle charge almost an entire year profit to join. $15,000 to join the academy, and they put education in the name, but they are not accredited. One woman said that when she was there, Danielle didn't even teach, and Garrett told them if they had an uncommitted customer to ask them about their S-Life. Another commenter backs her up. This Redditor says she got duped into paying for their academy, which turned out to be a total scam. My hair was ruined by their method. I have clients who wore it for years before coming to me who have permanent bald spots from the years of follicle stress, and the education side of the company is run like a cult. So the clients of the hair extensions company sound very similar to the clients of Wake Up Warrior, as well as the plaintiffs of the harassment lawsuit. Where there's smoke, there's fire. 2 months ago, someone posted about classes being shut down, and there's currently no registration option on the website. Their California mansion is for sale. So what's next for Bonnie and Clyde? I'm sure Garrett will tell us, as he is fond of oversharing. Thanks for watching.